Chapter 5. Stop feeding the fire. Your emotions are fires. Some burn quietly, doubt, fear, worry. Others roar, anger, envy, frustration. But every fire has one thing in common. It only survives if you feed it. That's the truth most people never learn. You can't fight emotional chaos with more emotion. You can't put out fire with fire. You stop it by starving it, by refusing to give it what it wants, your attention. Because attention is energy, and energy is fuel, and what you focus on grows. So if you feed your pain with focus, it grows. If you feed your fears with focus, they grow. If you feed your anger with focus, it consumes you. Attention is energy. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Every time you replay an insult, you feed the fire. Every time you relive a failure, you feed the fire. Every time you argue with your thoughts instead of observing them, you feed the fire. You keep the chaos alive by feeding it your focus. And that's why your peace never lasts. Not because life is against you, but because you keep fueling what you should be starving. You have a choice. You can focus on control, or you can focus on emotion. You can focus on the problem or on your power. You can feed the chaos, or you can feed the calm. That's the key. Understand this. Emotional chaos is a parasite. It survives only on your energy. It can't exist without your participation. The more you feed it, the louder it grows. The more you ignore it, the weaker it becomes. You don't have to fight every negative thought. You don't have to chase every emotion. You don't have to analyze every feeling that walks through your mind. Just because it knocks doesn't mean you have to open the door. That's where most people lose. They think control means winning the argument inside their head. No, control means refusing to argue at all. Because the moment you argue, you're already feeding it. Let's get practical. When anger hits, don't react. Don't speak. Don't move. Just breathe. Observe it like smoke rising from a fire that's not yours. You don't need to throw wood on it. That's how you reclaim your control, through neutral observation. Observation creates distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity creates calm. You don't control emotion by suppressing it. You control it by refusing to energize it. Let it rise. Let it pass. Don't feed it. Because if you feed it, you become it. Think about it. When someone says something that offends you, and you immediately respond, who's in control? Not you. They just hijacked your energy. They just used your emotions to dictate your behavior, and you let them. Every reaction is a transaction. You traded peace for pride. You don't need their permission to stay calm. You don't need their validation to keep your peace. You only need discipline. The discipline not to feed what wants your attention. Attention is energy. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. You can't stop people from throwing sparks at you, but you can stop living in gasoline. That's what most people do. They soak themselves in emotional fuel. They walk around ready to ignite. One wrong word, one inconvenience, one rejection, and they burn. But the emotionally disciplined person, they're fireproof because they stopped feeding the flames long ago. They learned how to redirect energy instead of wasting it. They learned how to respond instead of react. They don't feed the fire, they watch it flicker out. Let me give you a clear instruction. The next time your mind starts replaying something painful, stop. Ask yourself, what am I feeding right now? If it's anger, stop. If it's fear, stop. If it's envy, stop. You can't control the thought that arrives, but you can control what you do with it. You can stare at it, replay it, analyze it, fuel it, or you can let it pass. You have a choice. That's the key. The disciplined mind knows when to walk away, even from its own thoughts. It's not about denying emotion. It's about managing attention. When you direct your focus towards what you can control, your breath, your posture, your response, everything changes. You weaken the storm by starving it. You starve it by detaching from it. You detach from it by observing instead of engaging. That's emotional discipline in motion. That's how peace is earned. You can't buy it. You can't fake it. You can only build it through focus. And focus is your currency. Attention is energy. Protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Now listen closely. You can't live in peace while feeding chaos. You can't find clarity while feeding confusion. You can't stay strong while feeding weakness. What you focus on, you strengthen. So, if you want to strengthen calm, feed calm. If you want to strengthen confidence, feed confidence. If you want to strengthen control, feed control. Starve what drains you. Feed what sustains you. That's how emotional mastery is built, through disciplined attention. You've learned how to stop fueling the emotional fires that burn your energy and peace. Now it's time to master the next level, learning to pause before you act, before you speak, before you react. You've learned to starve the fire. Now, you'll learn to use the silence between sparks.